Hey guys, I am back for part 2 of ranking every classic mythic level in the game. Once again, no platformer levels. If y'all want me to rank those two, I will rank those separately. So, where we left off with all of these ranked, there's currently Berserker, GD Gangster Rap, Button Masher, Next Cap Soon, Astrolith Out of Place, WannaCry, Rage Quit, Alien Dream Emulator, and Final Orbit are the ones that we currently have ranked. And up next is Arbiter, Space Continuum, Kisaragi, Abducted, Self Shenanigans, Spec Revenge, and so on. In this video, we are going to be ranking 10 more this video. Alright, so let's get to it. The first one is Arbiter. Alright, so that's Arbiter. Now, honestly, this was one of my favorite levels when it came out. I really liked the level. The only part that I think could have used a little more polishing is the very beginning. Whenever the camera is zooming out, it has those couple of awkward spots where it kind of suddenly shifts back as it's already moving back slowly. And I think if you're playing the level for the first time, that can kind of like catch you off guard. But besides that, I think everything else in the level is perfect the way it is. And the gameplay in the beginning is also a little confusing and unreadable, but in total, the gameplay after the pre-drop is just amazing. There's not a single problem that I have with the rest of the gameplay except for I would say the first one or two parts. So with that in mind, I would probably put this up here. Now, honestly, it has better art than WannaCry. I think that it's just better overall. Even if I do like WannaCry better, I feel like Arbiter deserves to go above it still. And I'll put it above Rage Quit for one specific reason, that being Rage Quit is a remake of Stereo Madness, while Arbiter isn't, and I feel like that can kind of be a deciding factor there that kind of puts it above Rage Quit. But yeah, everything in Arbiter is amazing. The 3D going into the drop, how do you do that? Genuinely, I don't understand how they made that part. And then they just the entire 3D part on its own. Like, how do you make that? I don't understand. It's one of those things where like you would see Rob Top popping up in the comments saying how, because genuinely how. But yeah, anyways, yeah, I think it deserves this spot where it's at. It is one of the cleanest mythic levels in the game by far. And then next is Space Time Continuum.
The horizon glow, waiting in a car, waiting for a ride dawn, drinking in the lights.
Alright, Space Time Continuum. I don't know why that's difficult for me to say. It just is. So for Space Time Continuum, I really love the progression of the level. Honestly, I think it works really well the way it is. The only thing that I think is a little odd is how the beginning kind of has a very computery feel. I guess that's how I would put it. Um, and like more like technology based, and then it goes straight into a very like Nine Souls, I guess, style. And I really did not like playing the end part of the level whenever it first came out, because the end part was very difficult, and with you constantly going in a circle, it was just really annoying to play. It's better now. It is. It's a lot better than it was before. But that part was just really annoying. And I do love the part where you're going into the city, or town, or whatever the area is, and there's like the black hole in the background, or the galaxy, and then it goes backwards and it inverts the color. It just looks really, really cool. It's definitely not my favorite Mythic level, but it is a really cool level. So I think I'll put it over here because for me, it's not the craziest thing ever, but it is definitely really good. And then next is Kisara, Kisara. Oh my, I give up. This level. Hold on. Alright, Kisaragi. So this level, honestly, I don't really like it much. I don't think it's a terrible level, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of the structuring for it is somewhat lazy. The music's not bad at all, but I just feel like some of the stuff is just kind of random. Like it going from space into the city for some reason, and then it going back into space or whatever it's doing. It didn't really feel like anything was connected very much except for trying to match the song. And I think it did a good job at matching the song and the intensity of it, but I feel like your level isn't as good as it can be if, while everything fits with the song, it doesn't really fit together coherently with each part, whether it be decoration wise or just like progression wise. The one part of the level that I do like though is the ending where it goes into the subway station and then goes into that 3D star area at the end. I think that the parallax on the subway station is really impressive. I do like that part, and the whenever I was first watching the level, while I wasn't impressed with most of the level, and yes, the space backgrounds are very pretty. They are. I love space. The last part with the stars really just were very impressive whenever I first saw it, and I still think that they're very impressive, which is why that's my favorite part of the level. Everything else is just kind of meh. And I feel like a lot of the time it left a lot of open space where there could have been more structures. And that's part of the reason why I feel like it's kind of lazy. But yeah, in total, I don't think it's a terrible level, but I think it probably deserved Legendary more than it deserved Mythic. The gameplay isn't bad. Some parts are a little annoying, but for the most part, the gameplay is just kind of like, it's not good, it's not bad. Like I said, I do not think that it deserved Mythic. So that's why it's going in B tier. And as much as I am kind of indifferent to Next Capsule, I do think that it's a better level by far than Kisaragi. And then next is Abducted. Alright, abducted. Now, honestly, I do not like this level. I really don't. I don't think it deserved to win the contest. No hate to Veg Tom. I do not think that Abducted deserved to get first place over levels like Final Orbit and Alien Dream Emulator. Why can I not speak today? Also, levels like Arpature. I really don't think that it deserved to beat it. And I think another part of it too is kind of like a similar case with Next Capsule, where I'm not really a fan of the art style that it has. I don't know why, but cartoony art style is just really don't appeal to me for jump dash levels whatsoever. It just like I really don't like this level. And I don't dislike it as much as I dislike levels like Button Masher. So I'll put it like above Button Masher, but I really don't care for it at all. And the decoration isn't even bad. It really isn't. I just don't like the style of decoration. And not to mention the gameplay is just kind of like forgettable, I guess. But Vegetom as like a creator, he is a good creator. It's just I don't think he would deserve to win the contest, and I don't like this level personally. Next is Skeletal Shenanigans.
Run.
Alright, Skeletal Shenanigans. Now, this is not a personal favorite level of mine, but I do think it is amazing level. I think in every aspect, it accomplishes everything that is required for a mythic level to get the rating. And honestly, the movements are just extremely fluid. They aren't stiff or awkward. And of course, Ayers and Yorid are professional creators. The level is just a masterpiece. It really is just a masterpiece. But like I said, it isn't a favorite level of mine, but it is one of the best mythic levels in the game. For me personally, I'm gonna put it at the top of A tier because up here are all of my favorite mythic levels, and anything below that, I would put this like at the top of the mythic levels that aren't my favorite. Congrats to Yorid and Errors for being able to make such a masterpiece of a level. Honestly, I don't know how they were able to make a level that was like this well put together in every aspect. The progression of the level is perfectly done, and this was made for, I believe, the Gem Attack Creator Contest, which is why the gem is in the level. I'm not sure if Skeletal Shenanigans won that contest, but it sure did deserve the amount of recognition that it got, and I believe it even made Jump Dash a little bit more mainstream than it was before. Next is Backbeat Revenge. Alright, Backbeat Revenge. I know this level is very controversial for how flashy it is, but I really do like the level a lot. My only criticism of it is that the beginning is not as good as the rest of the level, except for the wave part into the drop with that 3D background. I don't know how you make that. That art is really impressive. I think that everything about this level uh is well done. The effects that Darwin was able to make in the background for the drop are really impressive. I do think that it could have been a little less flashy and still match the song really as well. So I do think that that was a little unnecessary. The only part that I found a little bit annoying was the black orb spam, but again, that could have just been a skill issue on my part. And I do think that the last wave part kind of died down in intensity and matching the song. But apart from that, I don't think this level is bad at all. So I'm gonna put Backbeat Revenge. I'm gonna say right here because I do think that Skeletal Shenanigans is better, but I do think that it is also a really good level, and I don't feel like it'd be fair to put it below Space Time Continuum. Darwin should maybe practice making levels a little less flashy, just saying. And actually, I think I'm gonna move out of place right here. And my reason for that is because I do think that it is better than Space Time Continuum in every way. So the gameplay was a little annoying, but so was some of Space Time Continuum's gameplay. So, they cancels out for each other. Alright, next is, what's this level called? Oh, right, Space Invaders.
Ships of an alien source are approaching from the sky. Radio contact has been attempted but cannot be established. Instructions are to prepare for an attack by an unknown enemy.
Beasts as far as the eye can see. A plague on the surface, a disgusting swarm in the skies. With a crash of thunder, a new demon appears. Unfurling its rotten wings, it lets out a petrifying scream.
Alright, Space Invaders. I really don't like this level. I really don't. I like it less than Abducted. And honestly, I think that Subwoofer's levels aren't even that bad. But Space Invaders just isn't it. I'm sorry, but it is really just not mythic worthy in any aspect whatsoever. The art style, there's nothing wrong with it, but the spaceship in the background and the main alien boss fight is just, I mean, like, it's epic worthy at most, but I mean, like, Mythic, this level is not. No, and then the decoration quality also falls off so many times throughout the level. Like when it goes into the second pre-drop, you cannot tell me that the art of the main boss in the background is Mythic worthy, or just any of the decoration in the surrounding is of that quality. Like it just isn't at all. And then the random talking is not even it's not even like really lyrics they're like would be singing. It just does not add anything good to the level whatsoever. The gameplay is already annoying as is, and plus, I really don't like how long it is because I personally don't like levels that go over 3 or 4 minutes. The only exception to that for me is Shinigami because I like the level and I like the song for it. But most levels I really don't like if they're over 3 minutes long. And Space Invaders combine the annoying gameplay with the subpar decoration and the length of the level. There's just nothing really good about it. The only thing that's slightly enjoyable is the pets that you can buy from the shop at the beginning. But that's about it. The boss is just kind of like, it's not there's nothing impressive about the boss fight at all. If I had to choose a part that I didn't dislike, it'd probably be the beginning of the drop because like how it shoots the laser and then it's a little corny how it matches the song, but I get it because it does that throughout most of the level. But after that first explosion, the vibes of it being like apocalypse kind of fall off entirely, and it focuses more on matching like a very upbeat song instead of being more like fire and destruction everywhere. And it just like the level is just tiring. I don't like Space Invaders at all, and honestly, I'm gonna put it where should I put it? I'm gonna put it above GG Gangster Rap, but below Button Masher because I really really don't like this level at all. All right, next is Ida Carnus. If there's any way that I can prove that I adore this level, my PC background wallpaper is Ida Carnus. It's basically an edit that I made of the level. Ida Carnus. This level is
It was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
one of my all-time favorite Mythic levels. And I know I've probably said the same thing for WannaCry, Final Orbit, and Alien Dream Emulator, but it is seriously just a work of art. Like, there's nothing bad about the level at all. I don't even understand how they made the art. And I watched one of the videos on the process of making the level, the amount of effort and passion that went into the creation of this level. They went into VR to sketch out how they were going to make the ending sequence. Like, I can go on for forever praising this level on everything that it does. There was only one thing that I do think that makes me a little surprised that it got rated, though, which is the horror aspect of it. Because while it is one of the best levels in the game, uh, I'm not sure if I would say it's an entirely kid-friendly level, considering some of the art in it. Like, I think it's a heart in the background. I'm not entirely sure, but with the eyeballs and stuff, and it looks like you're going through some sort of like intestine, and it's not the most kid friendly, which is why it's a little surprising that it's allowed. It's one of those levels that whenever somebody asks you if Geometry Dash could be a game engine or just like an art engine, that is a prime example of what you could use to show them just how advanced the game can get. So I am putting this, uh, I'm gonna put it right here. Nope, right there. No, right there. There we go. Because Alien Dream Emulator is still my favorite level of all time. Ida Carnus would be in that spot, but I do wish there was a little more gameplay to it. If there was more gameplay, then it would be my all-time favorite level in the entire game, but it's just a little too auto for me. And I get that it's meant to be because it's an easier level, but still, I just wish that there was some more gameplay to it. Like in the last sequence, with how little gameplay there is, it feels a little short, which honestly makes it feel like a ripoff because I wish the level was longer. Like, I don't care how long the level would be, just like extend this masterpiece to be more of a masterpiece than it already is. Next is Stronghold. Alright, Stronghold. I think that this level is very clean and it's very polished. I think that they did a great job with the animations and the storytelling. The progression of the level is very good. They managed to include so many different areas and locations without making it feel like they were disconnected, which is a very impressive thing to do. The entire level without the story, the entire level without the story? The entire story throughout the level is very coherent. It's very well put together. It's another one of those levels that's not in my favorites, but it does deserve to be placed very high up on the list. So I'm going to put it right here. I don't like it as much as I like Backbeat Revenge, but I do think that it deserves a spot above Out of Place. There's not much that I have to say about it other than the animation is extremely polished and clean. You can tell that they made sure that it looked as best as it possibly could. The gameplay is some parts were a little annoying, but only like one or two parts maybe at most, so that I don't really count, but for the most part, it's good gameplay. And then I believe last but not least is Heavy Gears. Alright, Heavy Gears. I really like this level. Every part of the level matches the intensity of the song. The only critique that I have of this level is some parts don't match with others, and some parts feel more random than anything else. But the decoration in each part is very good. Honestly, I do think that this level could probably go for a legendary. I'm not sure if the decoration is connected enough throughout the level to get a mythic rating, but I still think that this is a really good mythic. I do think that the level is really good, like in total. So I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna say above Backbeat Revenge, but below Skeletal Shenanigans because it's not in my favorite. And while I do like it more than Skeletal Shenanigans, I don't think that it deserves a higher placement in general. I feel like that'd be unfair to a level that has much better story put together. The decoration and the progression fits together a lot better than in Heavy Gears. And while there are two different types of levels in what they're trying to accomplish, Skills of Shenanigans is just better. Even if I like Heavy Gears more. That is my ranking so far for part 2. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree or disagree. I'm very interested to hear your thoughts on it. And I'm actually going to put this one above Space Time Continuum. There we go. Part 3 will come out probably at some point. I don't really know when. It just depends on when I feel like recording it. Next video will be all of these. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys later. Goodbye.